June, and my prayer is that we are all going to make it to the end of the year and see many, many more years. I want to say a very happy new month to each and every one of you, and welcome back to Times of Refreshing. My name is Owen. If you are new here, you're especially welcome. Here we talk about our challenges, our joy as pastor's wife, and we talk also about our calling. Last week on Times of Refreshing, we started a series on protecting your peace and your mental health. That is taking care of your mental health. And because last month was still Mental Health Awareness Month, I decided to just weigh on it because many times as ministry people, we try not to talk about mental health at all. But it is important for us to talk about it so that we can know how to better take care of it. We look at what it means, and we looked at ways of knowing if your mental health and your peace of mind is suffering. We talked about things like when you begin to experience, mental fatigue, when it looks as if you are always on edge, you are experiencing emotional emptiness. That, my dear, is also a sign of having challenges with our mental health. So today, we are just going to be talking about some other things that we can look at to know if our mental health is suffering. I know it's June, but because I've promised that I was going to finish this, I will definitely finish it. And then when we come back for the next episode, we're going to be talking about something quite new. So today, let's add to what we talked about last week, signs to know that your peace of mind is not being taken care of. The first one I'll talk about today is loss of joy in service. When ministry becomes like a burden instead of a blessing, what once feels so important to you now feels like I just have to survive it. That's a sign. God did not call you and I to serve from a dry well. The book of Galatians 6:9 told us that we should not be weary in doing good, which means that we can actually grow weary even in good things that we are doing. And that's why that warning came. So when our joy is gone, it is time for us to pause and ask God, what am I carrying that I'm not meant to carry? Another one is overcommitting and resentment in silence. Oh yes, you say yes to everything because you feel obligated. You overextend yourself at times, but yet you feel guilty for resting. But deep down, resentment has started to grow in you. You are smiling on the outside and boiling inside. That is quite resentment in your soul, crying out for boundaries. Boundaries, once again, does not mean you block love, but you protect it. That's what it means. Boundary does not mean that you are putting people out, but it simply means that you are protecting your peace and protecting, your relationship with other people. Now that we have finished looking at the 5 points I have on what to look for when you are feeling drained, let's begin to look at what we can do so that we can do it and achieve the purpose for which we're doing it. Limit accessibility to yourself. You don't have to be available 24/7. You have to define roles, clear communication, what you do and what you will not be able to do in the church. You also have to learn to protect your family time. Block out time weekly for you and your family, just yourselves. Prioritize your self-care. Rest without guilt. Take naps, days off, or even, Sabbath break. Eat well and stay hydrated. This is simple but very powerful. Remember to exercise regularly. At least 20-30 minutes walk a day will reduce stress for building up in your life. Third one is that you should build a trusted circle of mentors and accountability partners. Find safe friendship. Connect with women in your church who understand your journey, who are not judgmental, including other pastors' wives. If you think you need it, therapy is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. You also have to learn to stay spiritually nourished. Have your own quiet time. Separate from your church duties or sermon preparation. You have to find time to worship freely, attend other people's conferences when you are not on duty. Lastly, today, I want to encourage you to create a regular check-in with yourself. You need to ask yourself often, am I really doing okay? Am I doing great? When you write things down, it helps to process and track emotions. When you feel burnt out, it's time to pause and reset. I hope all these points that I've shared with you today will help you. Please remember to like, remember to share. Somebody needs to hear this and to learn this. And I hope that you put this into practice. Until next time on Times of Refreshing, I'm your host, Tonya Koli. I want you to keep soaring in your mental health and your peace of mind. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.